Yesterday, popular YouTuber Anton Daniels released a controversial live stream, and the name of the stream was called "Stop Trying to Protect All Black Women, I've Turned My Back Towards You." Now, if you guys know Anton Daniels, he's also affiliated with the Lapeef Let's Talk Network, and by no means is Anton Daniels a hater of black women. The brother is married, he has a daughter, he comes down as hard on the men, if not harder, than women. And one of the things that I love about Lapeef Network is that they have a lot of good-looking ladies on there. They allow them to speak, but there's one particular young lady that I think that a lot of people take issue with, and that is a lady by the name of Kayla. Kayla tends to be, I don't know, for some people problematic on the show. And Brother Anton got into it with her. And like I said, the Let's Talk Networks, there's a lot of people getting into it sometimes. You know, there's Brother Logic on there. You have a lot of different guests coming on there. So it's a good, interesting conversations. But Brother Anton, he took umbrage with two of the ladies, Kayla in particular, about their behavior on the show and their attitude towards black men on the show. And in this rant, he's kind of breaking down not only the disrespect that black men are getting from women in general, but the lack of respect that he's getting on his own show because he is part owner of the Lapeef Network. There are some parts of the stream that I can't play, but I do want to play this particular clip, and then I'll come back and then we'll talk about the whole thing.
What you talking about protecting you? I thought y'all was equal. I thought y'all was equal, even though I am protecting you and you don't even know, and being disingenuous about how I'm protecting you and when I'm protecting you and what I say in the conversations that I'm having. But here we go. Nobody cares about the men, and we understand that. But I'm going to show you how little we fucking care about these women that's incoherent, belligerent, disrespectful, and straight up ugly to us men. They treat us like trash. They treat us like dogs. We are good for them as long as we're serving a purpose, and when they don't feel as though we can serve any purpose anymore, they lash out. And the only way that you're going to make sure that you keep them in your good graces is if you kowtow and then you play along with them. But I don't do that. I extend grace as long as grace is available, as long as you want to be here. My one rule in my own household with my own wife and my own daughter is that everything is forgivable, but I will not keep anybody here who don't want to be here. If you don't want to be here, let the door hit you on the way out. That's my one rule. I don't chase after women.
So now that's just a snippet of, Brother Anton talking about what men are going through, and a lot of women want protection, but they're only treating black men a certain way if those men are pretty much brown nosing them or kissing up to them. But at the same time, with that sort of disrespect, these black women would like these black men to protect them. And that's why Anton's video is saying stop trying to protect all black women. And a lot of brothers, especially, in certain communities, I hear it in the black church. I hear it from certain sectors of the pro-black community that, black women must be protected. But I do want to push back on that a lot, because a lot of sisters in today's world don't have a lot of value for a man being in their life, because some of them have not grown up with, a black man being in the household. A lot of them don't see themselves being in a marriage. And if they are in a marriage, they don't, really see themselves being somewhat submissive. Now, this is not all black women in general, because you will have some black women who are going to be different depending on how the man is and what his confidence and his leadership ability is. But on average, this is what I believe we are looking at. Now, here's what I want to talk about. Talking about protecting black women. He made a point about, why do you want protection from black men when you say that you're equal? And it's hard to protect something that's the equal of you. It's kind of like me, being like 6'3" or 6'4", and then you're 6'4", and we're the same size and same skill level of fighting, and I'm asking you to protect me. It doesn't make any sense. In that situation, a lot of black women are asking for black men for protection, and they're not, willing to give submission. But then here's the other key. You have black women who don't want you to protect them at all. And that could be directly or indirectly. And I think that's what we're talking about. Some black women don't want your protection. A lot of them, I don't think, want your protection. And I think this is what we got to look at. If you have certain sisters, by the way they act, and they don't feel that black men, they don't want the protection. Either A, they don't want to do anything for that protection or give anything for it, or they just don't want it. I feel like what he's saying is true. Don't give it to them, because most black women, almost all black women, they're not going to submit to you because you are a man. I was talking to a sister one day, and the video's not out. Brother Go Black to Africa. He came to Uganda, and I was hanging out with him. And I was asking a lady on a podcast, I said, do you believe that all women should be treated like queens? She said, absolutely. I said, do you believe that all men deserve sex from a woman because they're men? She said, no. So there lies a very interesting take. All women deserve to be treated like queens, regardless of what they do. But now men don't deserve king stuff because they're men. And I believe that is the fundamental issue here. Does a woman deserve to be treated like a queen? I believe that if a woman is behaving as a queen, presenting herself as a queen, adding value as a queen, I don't have any problem with that. But now she should have to also prove herself, just like a man has to prove herself. And that's the problem in society. Men have to prove themselves, but it seems like, from a woman's opinion, that they don't need to prove themselves. They should just, men should just be glad like a woman is talking to you and all of that. And the key is this: a lot of people in black society are going to fall by the wayside. And we have some brothers out there that want to save everybody. There's a lot of good, black people out in the world, and we want to help them. There's black women out there, we want to help them. But you cannot help those who don't want to be helped. Okay. If you are a high performing person, a high performing individual, as a black person, black woman or black man, you're going to find out very quick that most people don't need to be around you or be by you. There's a select few. Okay. And for the women that really want to be good wives, and for the men that want to be good husbands, that's not something that everybody needs to enjoy. To have a protection of a man is not something that you just get. It's a privilege. It's not something that you can desire. To have a woman who is, and look, trust me, I know a lot of brothers out there have dated a lot of women that they feel were not worth dating. If you have a really good woman who's into you, it's a privilege. To have anything that's worth having is a privilege. But to get a man's protection, a man's provision, a man that wants to look over you, that's not something that every woman gets in today's world. It's just not. Okay. A lot of women may believe that they are owed that for whatever reason, and that's fine. But you can feel however you want to feel, but that doesn't mean that you qualify for what you're looking for. I can feel like I deserve to be at Harvard University, but if I don't have the grades, or if I don't have the extracurricular activities to back it up, guess what? I'm not getting into Harvard University. I don't care what I think I deserve. And that's something that a lot of women need to understand too. Just because you feel like you deserve, protection from a man, a black man in particular, well, then what do you do that gauges that man to want to protect you? Why are you worth being protected by that man? Why does that man need to do X, Y, and Z for you? Especially in a time where people are considering women just as talented and as equal as men. And that's the problem. The society is getting less empathetic towards women's protection. The reason why is because we've been taught that women are just as talented and equal as men. So why do you need my help, or why do you need my assistance, when feminism is saying that me and you are equal? So protection for men is becoming harder. That's why men are getting married less. That's why men are building less lives for women in today's world, because we've been taught that That's why you see some of these guys going on 50-50 dates and wanting to go 50-50. That's because society has taught a lot of men that women are equal and should be treated as such. So if you're a woman that doesn't want to be in those situations, you're going to have to prove that you are worth being taken care of, just like a man would have to prove the same thing, that, you know, you're worth his submission, or he's worth your submission. It's called adding value. Men and women have to add intrinsic value to one another. And without that happening, you don't get protection, you don't get submission, you don't get anything. But guys, what do you think? It's your boy, O'Shea Duke Jackson, back at it again with another episode of The Celebrity Junk. Appreciate you for all that you do. I'm out.